bilateral flexion is somebody that comes in and they have maybe they're hyperlordotic and they do not, when you're doing your cardinal planar range of motions, they are stuck. They do not move well into flexion. You have done your PIVMs and you have noted the level of hypomobility, okay? So there are a couple different ways that you can lock to find this level, but with flexion, you're always gonna have them 6 to 9 inches away from the edge of the bed, okay, depending on the length of your arms. You want the bed height at your mid-thigh if possible, and you want to always use your body to move the patient around, okay? My goal is always to have his spine up and down and not like this or not like this, okay? So how I achieve that is I put my hand, I thread it underneath his arm and I leave it like this, okay? When I am just moving his knees backward and forward to find the level of restriction, I can leave his hand there, okay? We'll bias this a little bit differently later. So I'm gonna swoop my hands underneath his knee. Notice I'm close to him and I'm going to be twisting my body, especially for you little people. Use your big muscles, not your little arm muscles, okay? So I'm going to move them into flexion and extension, and I've already done my PIVM, so I'm gonna get back to that segment and I'm gonna leave it in neutral, okay? Neutral being, it's not flexed or extended. Spinous processes are right by each other, okay? Now, I can either leave his legs in this position and go up above and neutral lock him down to the level by pulling his arm at a 45-degree angle. That's neutral rotation. So I go underneath his shoulder and I have him grab my shoulder and then I twist my body until I feel it start to rotate in the segment above, the vertebrae above the segment I want to treat. Okay, then I'm going to link my hand again underneath his arm, and I want this arm a little bit forward, okay, to bias flexion again. Now, I can rotate him down to that level. I don't want to lose that, and I can, if I want to, I can just go ahead, because it's a bilateral technique, I can stabilize the superior vertebrae, and then with a scissor grip, I can be on the inferior vertebrae, and I need to go into this plane to open or flex that vertebrae. So I'm pulling down and around. So it's not just that, or that'd be distraction, right? So I have to bias it. My counter force is this is pushing that way. If I don't do this, they'll both move. That's not helpful. Okay, so my counter force is pushing superiorly towards his head, and my other hand is rotating him in this direction. Okay? If it was a painless hypomobility, I would have rotated him down to and into, and I would be going in this, and I would hold it, and then I would use muscle assisted, okay? And so I could tell him, I want you to tilt your pelvis like you're bringing your pelvic bone towards your belly button. And so he's doing that actively, and then I take up the glide, okay? That is one way to set them up.
If you'd like to learn more, visit us at ASPIREOMT.com.